Hey guys, it's Rugby League Roundup back here with another video, and today is episode 10 of the Beyond the Tryline podcast, and we are reviewing the Dolphins 2025 season. If you guys want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. The goal is 400 subscribers by the end of January, so if we could do that, that would be much appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into the video. As we always do, we compare the 2024 season and the 2025 season. So let's start with the 2024 season, where Dolphins ended up finishing 10th, and with 11 wins and 13 losses, they scored 577 points and conceded 578 points. So a very, very even season in that 2024 year for the Dolphins. Now, let's move on to 2025. Now, moving on to 2025, in what was a better season by a couple of standards, but still unfortunately just missed out on the 8. They finished in 9th position with 12 wins, 12 losses, but they attacked so much better with 721 points, which is 144 more than they scored in 2024. So that aspect of their game, they definitely improved in. But on the defensive side, they got a little worse, conceding 596 points, which is 18 more than they conceded in 2024. But in all realness, if they had some players towards the back end of the season, if they weren't very injury riddled, I think it could have been much better, and they definitely could have finished in the top 8. Now, let's move into the attacking stats for the Dolphins in the 2025 season. Their attack was pretty good, with some good areas of the game, but also some areas to improve on. The points per game, though, was particularly great, and actually the best in the comp, where they had 30 points per game. Their line breaks, with 5.9 line breaks per game, finished in 2nd. They had 31.1 tackle breaks per game, which finished 10th in the comp. They ran the second most meters in the competition with 1,753 per game. They had 8.5 offloads per game, which finished in 13th. They had 10.2 errors, which was 14th. And they had a 79% completion rate, which finished in 11th. So overall, some stats where they could improve, some aspects of their game that they can improve on. But their points per game is certainly not one that they need to improve. But if it gets better, will certainly help them in the future. Now that we've looked at the attacking stats of the Dolphins 2025 season, let's review their defense and discipline, which was probably a little worse in these areas. They conceded 24.8 points per game, which finished in 11th, so they had the 11th best defense in the comp. So that can definitely improve. They missed 33.3 tackles per game, which was 8th. They had 7 sin bins, and they conceded 4.8 penalties, which finished in 17th. So their penalties conceded was really good, but there's some aspects in their defense there where they can definitely improve. Moving on to our player reviews, the way this works is players over 10 games, we review them, and at the end of this review, we give them pass or fail. So obviously the fail means they didn't do what, in my opinion, I thought they could have done. And a pass means they've done well enough to earn a pass mark for the season. Without further ado, let's get into it. Moving on to our first player, we have Jamayne Isaako, the winger from the Redcliffe Dolphins, or the Dolphins, whatever you want to call the club. Jamayne Isaako played 24 games, scored 11 tries, kicked conversions at 88%, and he also scored the most points in the competition with 278. He had a 81.5% tackle efficiency, and an amazing stat also is that since the newly formed side came into the NRL, Jamayne Isaako hasn't missed a game for him, which shows the amount of consistency and the amount of effort he puts into each week to make sure he plays. Before Jamayne Isaako joined the Dolphins, he was struggling to make the sides at Brisbane and at the Gold Coast Titans. So to see him playing first grade like this is just absolutely amazing. So for me, Jamayne Isaako gets a pass mark for 2025 as well. Moving on from one backline player to another, we've got Jake Averillo, who also managed to play 24 games, got 11 tries and 8 try assists. Although his stats in 2024 were better with 11 tries and 12 try assists, Defensively, he got much better, going from 84% tackle efficiency to 87% tackle efficiency. So, all around, his season was a bit more improved, and he averaged 136 run meters per game, which was his career high. So, for me, Jake Averillo gets a pass mark for the 2025 season. Moving on to the halfback of the Redcliffe Dolphins, one of the best halfbacks in the competition right now, Isaiah Katoa, 24 games, 2 tries, 31 try assists. That try assist number alone went up by 21 from the year before, where he only had 10. He averaged 108 running meters, where in 2024 he only averaged about 80. So he took on the line way more, opened up space for his other backline players, and that's how he was able to create more, and he was just great at it. And he also tackled at 87% tackle efficiency, so defensively solid too. Definitely a great year and easily a pass mark for Isaiah Katoa. Now, moving on, Kurt Donahue. Kurt Donahue had a pretty solid season, I thought, playing 22 games, scoring 3 tries and 2 try assists, which is better than his previous season in 2024, where he only had 2 tries and 1 try assist. He also stepped it up defensively, tackling at 93%, whereas the past few seasons he's only been tackling about 85% tackle efficiency. So for me, definitely a pass mark for Kurt Donahue and his 2025 season. Moving on to Ray Sloan, played 22 games and scored 4 tries off the bench. He had a very solid impact as well, tackling at 90.6% efficiency, which is about the same as 2024, but a little bit more. And in 2024, his stats were kind of similar, so not much difference, but I feel like he had more of a solid impact throughout the year. And definitely a pass mark for me. Now, moving on, Mark Nichols. In his last NRL season, he played 22 games and scored 2 tries. Just want to say congrats on an amazing career. You're a great player who played over 190 games of NRL first grade, and all the best in your future endeavours. You get a pass from me for the 2025 season, Mark Nichols. Moving on now, from one forward to another, Josh Kerr. Josh Kerr has been pretty consistent throughout his tenure at the Dolphins, and I thought he had another good season, tackling at 93%, because he comes off the bench and provides solid impact. He also averages 84 running meters, and he has a really quick play the ball, which allows the team to get on the attack a lot more. And throughout his last few seasons, maybe last 4 or 5 seasons, he's tackled at around 92 to 95% tackle efficiency. So for me, Josh Kerr gets a pass mark for the 2025 season. Moving on to who I think is probably one of the best players for the Dolphins, if not the best. It's pretty arguable with him and Herbie and Isaiah Katoa, but played 22 games, scored 21 tries, 6 try assists compared to the season before where he had 16 games, 15 tries and 3 try assists. Hamiso Tabuai-Fido's improvement cannot be underestimated. Yeah, he was really solid this year. He also had an 80% tackle efficiency and ran 164 running meters per game on average. So 2025, pretty easily pass mark for Hamiso Tabuai-Fido. Moving on to Kulikefi Funifuiaki. I thought in his first season at the Dolphins, he tackled quite well, tackling at 90.5% tackle efficiency, as well as averaging a career high 110 running meters per game. He also scored a try for him, and I thought he was decent throughout the season. So, pass mark for Kulikefu Funifuiaki. Moving on, Connolly Lemuelu. Arguably his best season in the Dolphins and his best season of his career. He played 20 games, scored 9 tries, and got 4 try assists. And he averaged 93 running meters, as well as a 90% tackle efficiency. So, very solid year for Connolly Lemuelu. And I think he'll even have a better 2026. But for 2025 season, easy pass. Now, Cody Nikorima. 20 games, 8 tries, 21 try assists. When Cody Nikorima attacks, it's so fun to watch. And yeah, he proved it this season, and he was in form for pretty much all of the season. So definitely a pass mark for Cody Nikorima's 2025 year, and all the best in 2026. Moving on, Herbie Farnworth. Wow, what a player. I mean, 19 games, 12 tries, 5 try assists. But if he didn't get injured, I think he would have helped the Dolphins make the 8, or at least given them a better chance to make the 8. He makes them a better team by a couple of tries at least, and the way he plays is so good to watch. He averaged about 170 run meters per game this year, as well as a 94% tackle efficiency. So, yeah, so influential on the defensive side and the attack side. Yeah, definitely a pass mark for Herbie Farnworth in his 2025 season. Moving on, we have Jeremy Marshall King, who managed to play 19 games, scoring 4 tries and 8 try assists in the 2025 season. He was solid as with the defensive stats as well, with a 94% tackle efficiency, and he's dangerous every time he gets a quick play of the ball, and whenever he gets the chance to run the ball as well. So for 2025, Jeremy Marshall King gets a pass mark. Moving on, Oren Keeley, 16 games, 4 tries. I thought it was pretty solid overall. He averaged 73 metres as well. Although there is room for defensive improvement because he did miss about 55 tackles with an 85% tackle efficiency. So there's definitely room for improvement on that side of the field. But I thought all around he was really solid. So for me, Oren Keeley gets a pass mark. On to one of the veterans/legends at the club, Felice Carfusi, 16 games, 1 try, but as always, defensively consistent. 96% tackle efficiency and averaged 84 metres as well. So not a bad season for Felice Carfusi, and I'm willing to give him a pass for the 2025 season. Now, moving on, the Dolphins' early season transfer from the St. George Illawarra Dragons, Francis Molo. Francis Molo was solid, played 16 games, scored a try, and averaged 120 metres per game with 96% tackle efficiency. So I thought it was pretty solid, and I'm going to give him a pass. Now, Jack Bostock, 13 games, 9 tries. Until he got injured, he was playing well, and I mean well. 149 average running meters per game and an 85% tackle efficiency. I mean, that's pretty solid stats as well for a winger in defense and attack. So, for me, Jack Bostock gets a pass for the 2025 season, and hopefully he's fit and healthy for 2026. At least, the most injury-riddled player in the Dolphins side, unfortunately, Tom Gilbert, only got to play 10 games this season after a long stint off the sidelines, missing the whole of 2024. Yeah, I mean, he did play alright when he came back, but unfortunately it happened again and he missed the rest of the season for it. So hopefully this year is the year he can play over 21st grade games, and yeah, I hope it's a successful season for him. But when he did play this in the 2025 season, I thought it was really solid. Now, let's go through the signings, losses, and re-signings for the Redcliffe Dolphins, or the Dolphins, for 2026. So, they signed Selwyn Cobbo from the Brisbane Broncos on a 1-year deal, Morgan Knowles from St. Helens for 2 years, Ryan Puinil from their system, Brad Schneider, Penrith Panthers for 1 year, and Sebastian Sewer from the Newcastle Knights, who signed on a 2-year deal. Now, they lost Kenny Bromwich to retirement, Max Feeney to the Titans, Harrison Graham to the Newcastle Knights, Peter Holler to the Newcastle Knights, Josh Kerr goes back to the Dragons, Mark Nichols retires, Sean O'Sullivan to the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, Orblix Taha to the Broncos, Mason Teague and Junior Tupou to the Sydney Roosters, James Walsh to the North Queensland Cowboys, and Michael Walker to the Brisbane Broncos. They also re-signed Herbie Farnworth and Connolly Lemuelu for 2027. To end this off, we're going to go through my final awards. And to start, we have the best win, which was round 7 against the Storm. Dolphins 42, Storm 22. Their worst loss was the game against the Roosters, 12-64 in round 23. Their best player, for me, Isaiah Katoa. Leaps and bounds, in my opinion. I think it was amazing. And hardest worker has to go for me to Oren Keeley. And my rookie of the year is Tavita Nafaha. And I really think he's someone that all NRL fans should have a look at, because he's got an amazing future, I think, in my opinion. And yeah, someone to look out for in 2026. To sum up the season of the Dolphins, I think they definitely could have made the 8 if they weren't decimated by injuries to key players. And I think that 2026 they will learn, and they might make the top 8. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. The goal is 400 subscribers, so if we could get that goal by the end of January, that would be much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in, and peace out.